Alrighty, folks, here we go. We're going to talk about the Texas abortion ban. All right, so I know I said in my update video that there are so many serious things going on in the world that it just felt silly to do the types of readings that I was doing on, like conspiracy type stuff and celebrities. Like, there's so many greater things going out there, and I really didn't feel called to pull cards on any of it. It just felt like it was bigger than me, and I didn't have a place in that. Well, yesterday, I kind of got bitch slapped by Spirit, and they kind of just basically said, you've been playing it safe. Don't play it safe. You named your channel Uncensored for a reason. Do it. Do the reading. So here we are, and I'm doing the hard things that I didn't really want to step into, just because I feel like there's already a lot of energy into this. There's a lot of aggressive, toxic energy involved, and I just didn't want to get didn't want to dirty my hands on it, I didn't want to get in the mud and wrestle with the pig, basically. But Spirit was like, no, you're fine, you can do this, stop playing it safe. So I have 2 readings that they were specifically like, you should do this. Okay, I'll do it. All right, so here we are. Oh, Jesus. I'm so sorry. All right. Texas abortion ban and the divine feminine. There's a connection, apparently, that we need to see. So, questions I'm going to ask. What is the spiritual aspect of this event? This law, this restriction. What does it mean for women? I need to move this thing. What does it mean for women? What can we do? The overall impact on Earth and humanity. And a message from the divine feminine in general. Okay. 3 cards for each question. All right. What are the spiritual aspects or implications of the control of uteruses in certain states? Well then, it's just something that there's something that we are refusing to deal with. Spiritually, there's like some spiritual work that needs to be done. There's some spiritual cleanup that needs to be done. Before being about, being okay where you're at and not really wanting to take on any other emotional anything, whether good or bad. I feel like this is a very neutral energy kind of card for me. Not positive, not negative. It's just no move. Like no movement. Then we have the five of swords kind of representing defeat, and the 7 of wands is like a rising up and defending. So spiritually, I feel like there's I'm getting complacent. We've been complacent. There's been a complacency. There's a spiritual complacency. Kind of being comfortable where you're at and not really wanting to move, even though there are plenty of places you could move. There is growth to be had. But being content to the point where you just don't move, almost to a stagnant energy. And that has caused an overriding, like I'm getting an override and uprise. Yeah, I'm getting like there's a storm brewing. There's a storm brewing here. Okay. Ah, so this is what I'm like. This is the feminine here, right? Like we have the feminine energy. Normally Five of Swords isn't so feminine. This is a very feminine energy here. This is the swords. If those swords weren't feeling like wire hangers right now, but they're like staked in the ground. I kind of feel like the feminine, like the feminine power is brewing here to defeat the masculine, and then we have here represented a dude on an uprising. So feeling like spiritually this is like kind of like divine feminine, and then masculine, like she's got swords. They're not even in her hand, but clearly not afraid to use them. This is kind of like a standby, kind of like this, where it's like standing still, not really moving anywhere, not needing to necessarily, not feeling like you need to move, but you could move if you wanted to, but not feeling like you need to at this point, emotionally, like not when, not taking on any more emotional stuff. Also, cups representing the womb, swords or wands, depending on your perspective, representing a more phallic symbol. Not really wanting to get censored on YouTube for that, but I think you know what I mean. The womb, and the pork sword. You know what I mean. So getting some of that energy too, but it's kind of like her hands aren't on them yet, or she did the dirty work and now she's done with them. Divine feminine is not necessarily an active energy, right? That's what the masculine is, the assertive, aggressive, physically active kind of energy, whereas the divine feminine is more emotional based. They're more they do on the comfort side, but there is a protective quality to the feminine energy. There's a protective, like, don't mistake my kindness for weakness kind of energy. I will stand here and stare at these swords, but if you come at me, I will not be afraid to cut you. So I kind of get that energy here. Spiritual, like, aspect of it, I kind of feel like it's the divine feminine saying, fuck around and find out. Right? And then we have like some masculine over here, like trying to uprise. But she's got these sharp swords and he's got a stick. Bringing a knife to a gun battle, like kind of situation here. They don't have a peg leg to stand on. My spirit guides are funny like that. I'm not funny at all. It's totally them. But yeah, that's what I'm getting spiritually. Spiritually, it's like divine feminine is waiting for the right opportunity. There is a defeat. Like they're like the masculine's bringing a knife to a gunfight, basically. Divine feminine saying, "Fuck around and find out." And they're gonna bring their floppy little sticks, twigs. All right, let's move on to the next question. What does it mean for women? What does it mean for the women of humanity? What does this legal issue against uteruses mean for women? Okay. Ha ha. All right. A new beginning. An ace is a beginning relating to cups. The womb. It's like I'm getting like a cleansing of the womb here, you guys. Yeah. Ooh, okay. And then we have the moon, which sounds a little bit like womb, which is a very divinely feminine energy. The moon represents femininity. The moon card in tarot is about things being kind of hidden. Yeah. And then we have, again, the Five of Swords about defeat. And I already said this feels like the Divine Feminine here. It's like, I'm really getting womb vibes from the cup. Gosh. And it's like the bird is passing up the cup, and not planting a seed in the cup. I feel like overall this is a good thing for women. I feel like overall this will start a new way of viewing the womb, okay, from a divine feminine aspect. Yeah, I know you're not gonna, you probably don't believe me because it looks pretty shitty right now, but I'm feeling like there's some things that have been hidden that feminine is saying fuck around and find out. Like they like there's some dirt that could be aired out. Here's some dirty laundry to be aired. But I feel like the feminine energy is strong here. What it means for women, I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm not saying that banning abortion is bad. What I'm saying is overall, it causes the divine feminine, I feel like, to pull out the sword and do what needs to be done. Okay, fives also represent change, so I feel like there is definitely a divine change. Okay, another thing that I also pick up from moon cards usually is that on one side is a dog and one side is a wolf. The dog is domesticated, the wolf is feral. So it's kind of like calling on that, like, okay, like werewolves are drawn to the moon. It's kind of like calling on that feral energy here in order to preserve. Okay, so I said cleansing the womb, preserving the womb, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm getting. But for women, I feel like it is a defeat. I feel like the feminine energy here is going to take control of the situation. And like I said before, also when this card came up, the protective mama bear type, like she's not going to fight until she's pushed. She's going to try her best. The divine feminine I'm speaking of will try its best to solve problems through connection and nurturing, but if pushed to the limit, can be a feral bitch, in a good way. The female dog version of the word, kind of coming out with like a ferocity I'm getting. So yeah, I feel like overall, when all is said and done regarding the topic, I feel like it's a preserving of the we will preserve the womb. That's what I'm getting here. Also the cup being about emotionality. I don't even know if that's a word. And aces being a beginning. I feel like it's a new way of feeling about the womb, and about femininity in general. I feel like gets a different kind of light shed. Also the moon representing like darkness, working under the cloak of night kind of thing. So there may be something happening in the evening times in dreams. So pay attention to your dreams if you are of the feminine persuasion, whether you are assigned or not. If you feel drawn to preserving and protecting the womb, then pay attention to your dreams. There could be some messages there as well. So let's move on to the next question. Oops, I missed. What can we do? All right, what do we do? What can we do? What can we do to help that outcome? To help it be a preserving of the womb? What can we do? Male, female, doesn't matter, non-binary, whatever. As a human, what can a person who would like to assist The Divine Feminine, what can they do? Alright. What can a person do to assist the Divine Feminine? It's going to take some work. Okay, I feel like we're gonna have to work quickly here. We're gonna have to work quickly to turn the wheel. Again, also cycles. This is just kind of like a never-ending cycle. We have feet sticking up down here. Like, where's that one going? Is it gonna make it back up when it comes around? It's just kind of like a never-ending cycle here. We're gonna have to act quickly. We're gonna have to act quickly and work hard to break a cycle. Okay, to understand the cycle. So it's being about knowledge, wisdom, air energy, and being fast moving. I feel like there's we need to understand the cycle in order to break it. That's going to take a lot of hard work. Diligent. I'm getting diligent work. We're going to have to be diligent, knowledgeable, and work quickly. So I'm kind of getting the impression the time is of the essence. In that Eight of Pentacles. It's also being a manifestation number. In that Eight of Pentacles, he doesn't seem to be rushing. He's taking his time there. And then on the other side of the Wheel of Fortune, on the other side of that cycle is, no, move quick. It's going to take hard work, but you're going to have to be swift about it in order to understand the cycle. And I'm really getting that stressed a lot. Understand the cycle. You have to understand the cycle in order to break it. And it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to physically do some things. But like what things? Well, I guess learning, recognizing patterns, right? We're getting patterns here, recognizing patterns and cycles, understanding the pattern. Okay. Understanding the pattern, right? Understanding the pattern will help you understand the cycle, and you're going to have to move quickly about it. So yeah, history, researching some history, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm getting for what we can do. Nothing specific about what to do other than there is definitely things to do, and understanding, right? We've got the communication, knowledge, learning aspect of the sword element. Understanding the cycles, understanding the patterns, in order to break the patterns. You know, he's got the hammer. He's working with the hammer. Hammer's a tool, but it can also be a weapon. Same as a sword. Anything that can be a weapon can also be used as a tool. Anything that is a tool can also be used as a weapon. So I feel like that's like spinning the wheels there, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. There's got to break things with a hammer. Breaking the cycle. I feel like recognizing patterns will help with that. So look at the patterns, look at the cycles, and understand them in order to break them. Next question is, what is the overall impact on Earth and humanity? What is the overall impact on humanity of this law? Of this law? What is the overall impact on humanity? What is the overall impact on humanity from this law? Okay. Like I said with that other one. Yeah. Ten of Cups is, the ultimate happiness. This is the archway of opportunity into a new heightened emotional awareness, but also happiness. It's like the culmination of, I heard dreams, like the word dreams came in my head. Living the dream kind of scenario. Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. This is overcoming obstacles. Yes, it was a lot of work. You're going to get scuffed up, right? He's all scuffed up. In other decks, there's usually a headscarf, not a headscarf, but like a bandage on the head. And look at they're both looking at this, right? They're both looking in this direction. He's more looking at the fish, which would represent, depending on your faith, which would represent the fish. In Christianity, I believe, represents Jesus. Feeding them. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man a fish, he'll eat forever, for life, whatever. That scenario. But they're both looking in that direction. But that Nine of Wands is overcoming that obstacle, going through the battle and coming out on top, next to the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate, reaching your desire, your wish being fulfilled kind of energy. Page of Cups, aside from him looking at the fish in the cup, again, that cup being a womb, right? Feeling that womb energy from the cup with the fish in it this time, where before we had the bird, passing by with a coin in its mouth, or what we could call a seed based on my interpretation at that point in time. This one has a fish in the cup, and the page is youth, the page is children, the page is a novice, somebody who is learning, a student. Looking at that fish in that cup, he's very happy with that. I also feel strongly about the water behind him. It's like filling up. So it's getting like welling up, swell, welling up, swelling. There's that Knight of Swords again. And then the Sun, very similar energy to the Ten of Cups, a very positive card, positive outcome. Overall impact on Earth, I feel like is good. Eventually, I don't want anybody to think that I am for this, because I will be very clearly against it. I don't believe anyone should have authority over anyone else's body, period, no matter what, in any situation. Even as a mother, it's not my job to control their bodies. So even in that scenario, protective, yes, protect their bodies, absolutely, because they are small and can't, but they are here physically here with me. They're not an idea, if you're understanding, if you're picking up what I'm putting down without using so many words to get me censored on YouTube. But yeah, so overall, I think eventually that's going to take some work. We're going to get scuffed up. There's going to be some damage. For sure. But overall, I feel like it's a change. It's a change. It's quick. We're going to have to move quickly. But I'm getting like, before you know it, the sun will rise before you know it, kind of from those two. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for that. Let's see if we can get just a message from the divine. A message from the divine. I already feel a card that might come out. A message from the divine. Feminine. Divine feminine, let's be specific. Oh, these cards don't want to shuffle. There we go. Message from the divine feminine. I don't know why I keep forgetting to say that. Message from the divine feminine, please. All right. 4 cards. Okay. Wait. That's 4 cards. Okay. All right, then. I'll put these down since this is the last question. 10 of Wands. Again, lots of hard work. There's a burden, but we overcome. Jesus H. Okay, so this is not what I expected to see. This is not what I honestly, I thought, like, from the divine feminine we would get something like the star card, which is hope, and like there's hope, don't worry. But this is what we get. We get 3 major arcana cards. All right, so 10 of Wands, it's going to be a laborious activity. Labor. Very interesting. Very interesting word choice. There's going to be some difficulty, but the chariot moves on. The chariot moves forward. Chariot moves also getting health vibes there, medical vibes. I maybe paying attention to your health, I guess, to be general. Don't be afraid to, okay, so message from the Divine Feminine. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. There's going to be, it's going to be a load. Oh, puns. That was not a funny pun. It's going to be, labor intensive. But you got this, right? You're able to overcome. Keep a mindfulness, I guess, about your physical body and putting your physical body under stress, because that will not be helpful. Hermit, going within. This is going to be this. You think that this is going to be a mass movement, but really, each individual needs to play their individual part. You need to go within to work through that. Internal, again, okay, we're relating to the womb still here. We're talking about that. We're talking about wombs. We're talking about uteruses and control over them. Taking the reins over your own medical issues, needs, whatever, is going to be very important here, I'm getting. And I feel like they're gonna make it hard for you to have agency over your physical body. That's what I'm kind of getting here. Yeah, but again, having internal vibes from this, medical, internal, and hard work. Be mindful of your body, as I'm getting, like, this is going to be more than just about the uterus necessarily, but internal health. Yeah. But your own. You will be having agency over your body is kind of what I'm getting. The Tower, let's talk about it. The Tower is about a shift. It's about a sudden, and what that Knight of Swords kept coming up, who talks about fast movement, being swift, getting in there, kind of like like a knight in shining armor kind of situation. Like, get in there. It's gonna, like, you need to act quick. You need to act quick is what I'm getting. The Tower is about a quick change, something there's something unexpected going on here, which I feel like is going to need you to shift your perspective and to self and your own internal needs, your own medical. Yes, we are. Gosh, I'm really getting like we're getting this all wrong, because like I'm getting messages from the Divine Feminine that are saying that this is good. This is a good thing. Not that there's a control of the uterus, but I feel like it's a bigger picture, especially with all these majors. I feel like there's a bigger picture to understand here, and that is that individualizing your internal health is where the change comes from. There I feel like there will be a change that we're not expecting to shift focus. So as a message from Divine Feminine, keep your awareness on yourself and your own personal medical needs, and having your personal medical needs met, whether that means, okay, Chariot moving, if you are in that state. Chariot is a movement, right? Is overcoming obstacles, but is also about travel. He's in a chariot. A chariot is a vehicle. Your vehicle, also relating to your physical body, being a vessel, a vehicle a vehicle for your spirit to move around in, right? Moving into an internal space, or physically moving, packing up your shit, moving on to focus on yourself. And I feel like, I'm kind of getting like if everybody just left Texas. Shit, I don't want to say it, but whatever. That could be important here, and that could be that turning point, that shift that you weren't expecting. There could be a significant move that Divine Femme wants us to know about or be aware of. Focus on yourself, your vessel, your physical well-being, and possibly moving, traveling if necessary. And I feel like this tower, it's gonna create a mess, kind of like the Nine of Wands we were talking about. It there's gonna be a mess to be made, but overall it strips it down to the foundation. And down here, like, you see these waves. So this tower is on a beach. It's built on sand. That's not stable. You got to tear it down. Move it, maybe even, right? Moving it to another location. But moving the tower to another more stable location, sometimes you got to rip it down from the foundation and start over again. And sometimes it's, you know, a lightning strike like that. So yeah, that's what I'm getting, and it's not what I expected whatsoever. I'm probably gonna get mixed comments on this one, but overall, I say keep the faith, I guess. That we will regain control, we will regain agency over our medical needs. Okay, the Hermit being about a solo act, finding yourself, being internal with your, you know, going inward into yourself. I feel like that those together are saying, you know, like, you regain agency over yourself by focusing on yourself, and let the collective, let the divine step in and tear it down. So that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. I hope that doesn't piss too many people off, but that's what I got, and uncensored, right? So thank you so much for watching this video, and probably it's really long. I apologize. But there we go. We'll see you in the next one. As always, have a blessed day.